Every time you choose comfort over discipline, pleasure over purpose, you are killing the giant within you. The next one is the surrender of presence. Choosing the phone over a conversation with your wife. Choosing distraction over engagement with your kids. When you're not present, that is how you're killing that giant within you. He's a loving, warm lighthouse of a father. He wants to spread energy and joy. He wants to be a force of nature. You can't do that when you're distracted, when you're staring at a screen and choosing an alternate reality over the one that you have. You are not the man you thought you would be as a boy. As a young boy, you thought of yourself as this inspiring man on fire. The Quiet Giant. My dad, Robert, used to be a giant. His laugh was a thunderstorm that shook the whole house, and his hugs could squeeze all the worries out of you. Now the giant is quiet. He mostly lives in his big, worn-out chair, and the thunderstorm is gone. He has a new smell. It's sharp and sour, like old bread, and it clings to him like a shadow. It comes from the brown bottles that sweat on the coffee table. They are his new best friends. He looks at them more than he looks at us. Mom walks around the giant with quiet feet. She used to try to wake him up, her voice a hopeful little bird. Robert, dinner's ready. Robert, Leo has a drawing for you. Now her voice is a whisper of wind, and she doesn't try as much. I brought him a picture I drew of a spaceship. I thought maybe it would remind him of the stories he used to tell me about the stars. I held it up for him. Look, Dad. His eyes, cloudy and red, flickered to the paper. A growl rumbled in his chest. Go away, he snapped, his voice a crack of lightning. Can't you see I'm busy? He wasn't busy. He was just sitting. The spaceship crashed. I crumpled it in my fist and ran to my room. The giant's roar chased me down the hall. My room is my fortress, but sometimes the walls feel very thin. Mom came in later. She smoothed the wrinkles from my drawing and taped it to the wall. It's a wonderful spaceship, Leo, she said. Her smile was like a cracked plate, trying to hold itself together. That night, I peeked out of my room. The giant was asleep in his chair, his mouth open, a strange, sad sound coming out with every breath. He didn't look like a giant anymore. He just looked broken. I still love the giant. I remember the thunderstorm laughs and the strong hugs. I know he's still in there, somewhere inside the quiet, smelly man in the chair, but I'm also scared of him. I wait for the thunderstorm. I wait for the giant to wake up. Mom and I, we just keep waiting. Today we're going to talk about how the giant falls, and most importantly, how to wake him up. The giant inside of every father doesn't die in one epic battle. He dies in 1,000 small surrenders that we make every single day, and I'm going to take you through each of these points. If you can see yourself in this, then I want you to know that it's possible for you to rise once again, but you have to be honest with yourself. I'm also going to read you a comment that was made on this Instagram post. The story I just read you was a story I created and posted on my Instagram account. So I just read you all of the slides, and here's one of the comments. This guy wrote, "This was my dad, my whole childhood. For me and my siblings, this was exactly what we experienced. He just sat there, surrounded with alcohol and cigarettes, not doing anything, but always too busy to be there for us. He finally passed a couple years ago, broken, spent, no legacy, nothing worth leaving. I loved him, but we were worlds apart, and he left a lifetime of healing I have to work through." I responded, "Thank you for sharing that. I know that's extremely painful, and you probably feel it every day. Also exactly why I made this post. To inspire fathers who are down that path to change before what you wrote is what their legacy is. If you were a man in my group Men of Fire, I would tell you to look at everything as a lesson that happens for you and not to you. His life is a lesson, a gift that can guide yours." And I'm going to read you later another comment a daughter made on a similar post of mine, sharing a similar story, equally as painful. So how does the giant fall? There's an old book called, and I actually did a podcast about this, called Iron John. They talk about a boy's fire dying as he ages. And they use the metaphor of a golden ball. This boy, to sum up a long novel in a couple sentences, he finds a golden ball the golden ball goes into a cage, and there's like a troll in there, and the boy is always terrified to get his golden ball out, and the golden ball represents this boy's inner fire of being a man and having adventure and danger in his life. And as he gets older, he doesn't care anymore, and his fire dies. That is the giant we all have within us, this fiery big man who's confident, who's strong, who's got a booming voice, who's not afraid to be a man. He's masculine, he's dangerous, he's also loving, he's warm, he's secure, he's safe. He makes everyone around him feel good, but he's a force of nature. Every one of us has that guy within us, but we allow him to die. We allow him to fall with 1,000 tiny surrenders with comfort. It is so damn easy to allow that to happen in today's world. And if you listened to my last podcast I just did, it was about the extreme difficulty of living with modern technology if you're an undisciplined man. If you are undisciplined, you are in for a hellish life with how easy it is to do everything. In the entire last podcast, I went through that and how to break free if that's you. But every time we surrender our discipline, we're choosing comfort. We're killing that giant that's within us. We're killing our self-confidence. We're killing our self-respect, our self-love. The man we see in the mirror, it cracks a little bit. When we choose the comfortable couch over the hard gym, hitting the snooze button, all of these little decisions, you tell yourself, I'm going to take a stand for myself. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to do this thing. And then it's time for you to do it, and you chicken out. You say no. You say, I'm going to start this business. I'm going to take a step today. I'm going to do this course. I'm going to hire this coach. So many guys want to start a business and break free from their 9-to-5. And so many people talk about it and think about it for a decade, when all they had to do was take a leap, take an imperfect leap into failure, and just learn as they go. But every year they put that off, and they choose fear and procrastination. The giant dies a little bit. Fear, procrastination, saying tomorrow, saying Monday, saying next month, that's when I'm going to start it. When finances are perfect, when the timing is right, when everything lines up, that's when I'm going to go for my dreams. Every time you say that, the giant inside of you dies a little bit. He is not a weak, procrastinating giant. He's a man of action. He's a man who decides to change his life. So every weak decision you make kills him. It's plunging another knife into him. Every time you say, I'm just not ready. Every I'm not ready kills that giant that you have it within you. Every time you surrender your discipline, you promised yourself you're done drinking for tonight, and you drink. You say, I'm not going to drink tonight, and you drink. You say, I'm not going to eat dessert. I'm not going to have pizza. I'm going to finally start to shed this fat, complacent man that I've turned into. I'm going to finally kill that guy and become the man I'm meant to be. And then you break your promise again. You feel weak. You have regret. And then you're tempted to just escape reality and drown your sorrows. That's how you kill the giant. Because that man hates himself. That man has no self-respect, no self-confidence, and he doesn't like who he is. That's how you kill the confident man that's within you. So every time you choose comfort over discipline, pleasure over purpose, you are killing the giant within you. The next one is the surrender of presence. Choosing the phone over a conversation with your wife. Choosing distraction over engagement with your kids. When you're not present, that is how you're killing that giant within you. He's a loving, warm lighthouse of a father. He wants to spread energy and joy. He wants to be a force of nature. You can't do that when you're distracted, when you're staring at a screen and choosing an alternate reality over the one that you have. By surrendering to vices, that's how we kill the giant. Cheap dopamine, extra beers, extra junk food, mindless scrolling. All of these things to numb the growing pain of mediocrity. You can feel yourself slipping into complacency, mediocrity, and average. You are not the man you thought you would be as a boy. As a young boy, you thought of yourself as this inspiring man on fire. And as you're slipping into mediocrity, and that fire is just wasting away, it's dying out, that's how the giant gets killed. This is the new smell that the son in the story noticed. The smell of alcohol, the smell of cigarettes, and that comment I just read. The dad who just always has a stench around him. And if you're listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. If you had a father like that, who was a recliner father, he's a recliner beer father, you know what I'm talking about. He could have been this strong, vibrant force of nature, but he just reclined into this complacent couch thing. And you have to be honest with yourself. It's painful, but you have to be honest with yourself. Is this what you're turning into? Is this the man you're becoming? Are you becoming the sleeping giant? The guy that's just in the corner, miserable. No one wants to talk to. He's quiet. He's lost himself. He let himself go. He could be such a force of nature, not just with his family, but on the world. He can make a difference. But pleasure has its claws in him. He can't escape the constant need to feel good at all times. The constant need to be safe and secure and have everything go his way. He can't escape that. So instead of a warrior charging into battle, a man who's leading the world and who everyone can rely on to be the first guy to run into the fire to save his princess, he's the guy running away, scared, looking for the easy way out. That's how you kill the giant within you. A surrender of purpose. That's how you kill the giant within you. Forgetting your why. A man without a mission is a man waiting to decay. He's a man waiting to rot. The chair becomes his home because he has nowhere else to go. I mentioned this on a previous podcast. You are worthy of discipline. It's another episode I did, another powerful episode. You are worthy of discipline. A man that believes he has a purpose in this world will wake up. He will get to work. He doesn't want to sit in the chair because he wants to do something with his life. I posted this the other day. I said, when I was a teacher, I used to have trouble going to sleep because I was so terrified of waking up the next day and going to that job again. I was so not looking forward to being there and living this life I didn't want. Now I have a hard time going to sleep some nights because I can't stop working, because I love what I'm doing so much. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's such a great idea. I should do that. Or this is such a great thing I need to write down. A guy in my group needs to hear this. My purpose keeps me up. My purpose keeps me energized. It keeps me on fire. I used to not be able to go to sleep for fear of the next day. Now I can't go to sleep because I don't want today to end. That's the difference between living a life of purpose and a life you have to get through. Being pulled through life and having to push yourself through life. Having no purpose is how you kill that giant. You have no reason to get out of the chair. Nothing to pull you. So let's talk about the antidote. How do you wake this giant up? Because if you can identify yourself in here and it's painful for you, good. Don't run from it. Don't grab a drink. Don't grab a Butterfinger and eat it because it tastes good. That's what I used to do. When I would feel boredom, complacency, stress, I would immediately look for something to make me feel good, that dopamine hit. Scrolling of the phone, drink, food, something. Change the scenery, something where I wouldn't have to live in reality. Don't do that right now if that's you. Sit in it and take this advice. I have a guy in my group, so damn proud of this guy. I mean, he struggled. It's about 2 months in, he joined us to quit drinking alcohol. He's like, today he posted on our call, he's 17 days sober and nailing his workouts, feeling on fire. Face completely different, skin completely different, marriage best it's ever been. So proud of him. It's like, yes, man, you're doing it. And he's going to go through struggles. He's going to fail again. He's going to make mistakes. But that doesn't matter anymore. He's decided that this is the guy he wants to be. And now he's talking about his purpose. He's talking about, I'm thinking on my job, I don't think I want to do this forever. He's like, I think I want to start a business, but I don't want it to just be out making money. I want it to be something that pulls me out of bed in the morning. That's where his head is at now, because he's not stuck at level 1 anymore. And that's what I tell every guy in the group. Every phase of this program, when you first start, you're going to have the logistical obstacles. Meal prepping, tracking macros, how to work out, how to do all these level 1 problems you're going to have. As you master them, you go to level 2, level 3, level 10, level 100 problems, like purpose of what you're here to do. The further you go in this game, the higher your problems become, the more difficult, complex, and high level your problems become. Like, what am I put on this earth to do? How am I meant to impact people? But you cannot think about those things if you can't get yourself out of bed in the morning. You can't be wondering about your purpose in life if you can't stop yourself from eating a bowl of ice cream. If God handed you your purpose right now and you can't even get yourself to go to the gym, or you can't stop yourself from having a drink of alcohol, it would be wasted upon you. So I said, good, man. Keep doing the basics. Keep taking one step in front of the next. As you become more disciplined, as you stack your habits, your purpose will come to you. As you become the man who can accept his purpose, it'll come. But we need to get out of the survival mode first. And all of a sudden, as he's getting out of survival mode, as he's starting to stack weeks of not drinking, these things are coming to him. It's like the universe is saying, look at this life you could have if you finally cut the anchors loose. And that's what I want to say to all of you. What is the life you could have if you could just cut the anchors loose from your life? If you didn't need alcohol to live today. If you didn't constantly need that sugar addiction. If you didn't need porn or vices to just get through the day. You could only rely on yourself. You were just a light, a confident, independent light. What kind of life could you live? Just imagine if you could see a little, you could open up a window and just look at that life. That life is there, but your vices are holding you back from it. Laziness is holding you back from it. Constant comfort seeking is holding you back from it. Not doing what you know you have to do. Procrastinating, saying tomorrow, constantly over and over again, putting off what you have to do in your life. That is such a crippling habit. And once you get past it, man, it's so freeing. So how do you wake the giant? This next part. The giant is not dead. He is dormant. We need to wake him up with intentional, disciplined action. So number one, I'll give you 3 different points here. Declare war on comfort. That's number one. This very first step, it's a conscious decision. You have to admit it to yourself. And this is rough for you guys who are doing really well. For you guys who are really well off, this is a tough one for you. And sometimes you're just not really able to give up the comforts. And I've seen it, and I've helped guys overcome it. And the more you have, the harder it is to give those things up. You have to give up great tasting foods, convenience everywhere, comforts at every stop of your life. You're like, well, why would I give those things up? Okay, you don't have to, but you also risk feeling dead on the inside. I don't care how much money you have. You're not meant to just live in comfort. Think about Elon Musk, whatever you think about him. I mean, I hear stories of him working 18, 20-hour days, sleeping on the office floor. That doesn't sound comfortable to me. I don't think he's just living his life on a yacht. From everything I hear, at least, he's just working constantly. Doesn't sound very comfortable. Very different life than the kid who's inherited millions and just sits and plays video games all day. The Billy Madison type, which is Lauren's favorite movie. So 2 completely different ways to go about it. But be wary of comfort. So principle 1, step 1 is declare war on comfort. Very first step. It needs to be a conscious decision for you. The decision that your growth is more important than your comfort. This is non-negotiable. You want to wake the giant back up? Stop seeking comfort everywhere. And it could be as simple as, hey, you know what? I don't need to sit all day. Maybe I can ask for a standing desk. A bunch of guys in my group, we have walking pads. We do walking pads during the day, get some extra steps in. It's not so comfortable. Hey, maybe I can park a little further away from the store. Maybe I can take the steps instead of the elevator. Maybe I don't need to be such a comfort-seeking person right now. That's a non-negotiable step number 1. You want to wake the giant back up? Stop seeking comfort at every turn. Number 2, forge your foundation. The giant is awakened by keeping promises. You kill the giant with every single promise you break. It's how you kill your identity. You want to see yourself as the giant. I was talking to a guy on a call about how us in Rising Father, we are strong, disciplined, ripped, inspiring leaders, but we also want to be warm, loving, and present. Like this guy, he told me, he said, I want to be strong, confident, and going after life, but I also want to have a soft touch. I said, yeah, like a lion. You see nature videos of a male lion and interacting with his cubs. You'll see videos of them cuddling and the little cub pulling on his ear and he doesn't do anything. He has a very soft touch around the cub. But you also see this lion run into a pack of 20 hyenas and bite their heads off. strong, ferocious, aggressive, masculine, on fire, energy, but also be that source of strength and warmth and have the soft touch. So you keep your promises. The alarm clock is the very first battle. That is number one. Wake up when you tell yourself you want to. 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m., whatever it is. Guy in our call this morning, he wakes up at 3:30 a.m. 5 a.m. alarm. It's the very first battle. Whatever your alarm clock is, it's the very first battle of the day. You must win that battle. And then work out. The workout is a physical act of proving to yourself that you are still a warrior. These are identity-building things, confidence-building things. If you can get yourself out of the bed when you promise yourself to, that is the very first battle of the day. You're either winning that battle or you're losing that battle. And it might seem like such a small thing, but you're either building your confidence or losing your confidence. No action we take has zero effect. It's like the transference of energy. Energy always is transferred somewhere. Every action has a reaction. You get out of bed when you promise yourself to, it's going to build confidence. You hit the snooze button, it's going to kill your confidence. It's the very first battle. You are defining who you are that day if you get out of your bed or you sleep in. Saying, today is going to be a day I keep my promises. Chris, today is the day that you go after your purpose in life. Or you're not worth getting up. So you're telling yourself, the life you have, your purpose isn't worth getting up right now. Win the first battle of the day. And then do some type of workout. You don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to do a specific workout. You need to exercise. First thing in the morning, remind yourself that you're a warrior. Remind yourself that you're a strong, confident, athletic warrior. That is a good thing. The world needs more of that. That is what men are. That's what boys are. Strong, confident warriors. Remind yourself. Don't let that part of you die. You let that part of you die, you're killing the giant. Wake up when you promise yourself to. Keep your promises, then do a workout. Make those two things non-negotiable for you in the morning. Then with your mind, you must feed the giant. The first thing you read in the morning cannot be emails or social media, unless it's Rising Father. It must be philosophy, wisdom, or something that reminds you of the man you are fighting to become. We have in our group a visualization blueprint. We call it my future self blueprint that every guy has. And it's pages of prompts where you're imagining the person that you want to become. And you spend your time filling it out. One of our calls, we went all the way through it, every prompt. We did it together. We shared responses. But after you have it filled out, you know exactly what you want in your life in every single area. Financial, physical, marriage, parenting, patience, presence, energy, everything. You say, this is the man I want to become. And then after you have that written down, you read it to yourself every single morning, first thing. So then you start your day out with intention. You know who you're going to be. You're not just waking up and reacting chaotically to the day. So define who you're going to be that day. Then also fill your head with wisdom. Listen to a podcast. Read a book. Fill your head with wisdom. It doesn't have to be an hours-long thing. It could be reading a quote that you want. I've got a beautiful quote on my wall I read every single morning, filling my head. I've got tons of books next to me. I don't read every single one every morning. I'll read a couple pages. Fill my head with greatness. First thing, you must feed the giant. Number 3, re-engage your senses. The man in the chair is numb. You must force yourself to feel again. So get outside, feel the sun, take a cold plunge, do something that reminds your body it is alive. The guy who's in the chair, he's not really living in life. He's kind of like in the Matrix. He's just plugged in. He's plugged into screens, food, alcohol, things that feel good. He's just a chemical reaction. His life is just a dopamine hit. He's that mouse in the cage with the little sugar drip, slowly rotting away, not to be remembered ever again. That's not who you are. That guy can't do anything. That guy has no purpose. That guy can't lead. That guy can't inspire. That guy's not strong. He's weak. He's weak and crumbling and rotting. Is that who you want to be? No. You're a strong, confident father. So get up. Get up and do something. Stop letting yourself rot away. It's not who you are. You're the lighthouse. The world needs more strong men, more masculine, strong, inspiring leaders. We don't need guys wasting away. The more you waste away, the more you hate yourself. The more you have no self-respect, no self-confidence. The more you hate yourself, the more controllable you are. The more you're just told what to do and you slither off into the corner. What's the most dangerous thing you can become? a guy who loves and respects himself, a confident guy. How do you do that? You build yourself back up like I'm telling you right now. Story of hope. This is not a theory. I know this is possible because I was that giant who went to sleep. I was slowly falling asleep. I could have been that guy. It's like a choose your own ending novel. It's like you look at, there's this beautiful picture in the James Clear Atomic Habits book of an airplane at the west side of the United States, and then it slowly does a 1 degree change, and as it travels across the United States, it's hundreds of miles apart. You make one difference in your life, one different change, one different philosophy change. Over the course of your life, it's a completely different life. I felt myself falling asleep in my early 30s. I had surgeries. I had young kids. I had blank. I had all these excuses. I could feel myself falling asleep. How did I get myself out? Suffering. Investing in myself. Taking risks. Not waiting until tomorrow. Finally calling myself on my bullshit. Accepting help from coaches and getting into a brotherhood, getting into a program where I was pushed to the brink. And I pushed myself. And I let others push me. Getting very uncomfortable. Getting disciplined. I had all the excuses in the book. I had all the wait till tomorrows. Life is crazy right now. That was me. I found myself falling asleep. Never been more on fire and alive than I am right now. 38 years old right now. I look back at my Rising Father posts of 4 years ago, right after I transitioned and awoke my giant, lit my fire. I woke back up. I love that I did that. I love that man. I love that sleeping giant that I was, because he's the one who decided to rise. And every single one of you, if that is you right now, you can decide to rise. In a year from now, look back at yourself and say, no, I love that guy. Even though he was suffering, even though he wasn't living up to his potential then, he decided to give himself the gift of discipline. He loved himself so much, he decided to rise. And he decided to not give himself so many excuses. He didn't want to be cold, shut down anymore. He didn't want to be so emotionally unstable anymore. He didn't want to be depressed and doubtful and fearful and just slithering his life away anymore. He decided to finally do something. That's how I look at myself. I say, thank you, Chris, that you pulled me out of the pit. I say it to myself every single morning. It's part of my visualization, of my intentions every day. I say, thank you, Chris. You were the one who pulled me out of the pit. You're the only one who didn't give up on me. You were the one who helped me rise. That was me. Fat Chris did that so that I can go from Fat Chris to this Chris. And if that is you, you have that within you. You have that ability within you to be the one to make you rise. And don't insist on going it alone. Don't insist on having some imaginary extra value by doing it by yourself. I didn't do it by myself. I still have coaches. I still have people. I still have brothers. I still have guys who inspire me, who fill my head. That can be you. So this isn't just a theory. It's absolutely possible. You can go from sleeping giant to, let's call it rising giant. That can happen for you. I'll read you a comment from a guy in my post, a comment from a guy in my group who I just saw. He just posted this today. Surgeon, and he just had his 4th child. Said, we added our 4th tonight. Everyone doing well. Posting this for anyone to call me out if I'm not posting my wake-up times, workouts, macros in the coming weeks. Plan to post regardless of success. Imagine first couple of days will be a little rocky, but plan to remain in a caloric deficit and focus on keeping protein up and sneaking workouts when I'm able. I'm down 25 pounds since my intro call with Chris on July 6th and feel like a different father and husband. Very motivated to keep this routine despite the chaos of a newborn in the house. Thanks, boys. 4th kid, and his post is a picture of him holding his newborn baby that's only a couple days old, and he's talking about keeping his protein and macro count up. This successful surgeon is very busy with his life. If he can do it, you can do it. Do not tell yourself right now, yeah, but. If you're saying yeah, but after hearing that, you will remain stuck for another 12 months. You can guarantee it. Your yeah, buts are keeping you stuck. Your excuses are keeping you stuck. Constantly saying, everyone else has it easier. Yeah, but that's them. Yeah, but I'm special. I'm unique. I have it harder than everybody else. All these comfort-seeking, easy excuses are keeping you stuck and miserable. Stop it. Call yourself out on your so you can have a better life. so you can save your marriage before it's gone forever, so you can lead your children before they're gone forever. Last part. Before I do that, I'm going to read one more comment from my post someone made. This is from a daughter. Let me pull it up. So I did last week. It was all about angry dad. And this has a lot of similarities to that, the sleeping giant, because the sleeping giant is an angry dad. She said, "I know there's people who don't like this, but maybe if my father had seen this years ago, he wouldn't be estranged now. He thought all we needed was food and clothing. There was no emotional support, no time spent, no hugs at bedtime. He lost his temper at the drop of a hat and screamed over simple mistakes like spilling a glass of water. I'd like to think that if someone had pointed out his lack of time for his children and his anger issues, and that they may lead to 2 out of 5 children no longer wanting anything to do with him, that he'd give his behavior a second thought. But he's avoidant, and people who don't understand their own attachment style or what motivates their own actions usually can't see these things. It's important. They usually can't see their own behavior. You can take it as a warning and be thoughtful in your attentions to your children. That doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It just means you need to be aware of your time spent, your actions, reactions, and your words. It shouldn't be about pressure. It should be about looking within. So I gave you 2 real comments today from adults who were children and had these types of fathers. And why am I talking about this and making this content now? So that if you are a father going down that path, you can stop and you can pivot and you don't have to be that father. But none of these things can happen. None of these transformations happen if you do not change. You can be super inspired and motivated by what I say, but if you don't cut the anchors loose from your life, you don't give up the vices that are holding you down, it's not going to happen. If you don't replace your habits, if you don't become healthy and disciplined, it's not going to happen. If you don't implement systems in your life to be more professional, more time efficient, it's not going to happen. You have to do more than just want to change. We talk in my group about you need a GPS system, so you need to upgrade your GPS. That is the perspective. These podcasts are all about perspective shift. It's how you can see the world, how we can drive a spear inside of your soul and say, no, look at your life right now. It's time for a change. That is the GPS system. Then you need to upgrade the motor in the boat, and you need to cut the anchor loose from the boat. You can have a good GPS, you can have a great motor, but if you've got an anchor dragging on the bottom of the ocean, you're still going to be stuck. Anchors are alcohol, porn, vaping, weed, all the vices that keep you stuck. You need to cut that loose. Then you need to upgrade the motor. That means cut out the bad habits, cut out the junk food, cut out all the bad habits that are keeping you with a rusty, falling apart, crumbling engine. Give yourself a brand new engine. Those 3 things must happen for you to finally start to speed off and rise towards your destination. The man in the chair is the default. He is the path of least resistance. He is what happens when a good man does nothing. The giant, the hero, is the man you must consciously choose to build every single day. You must decide to build him. You cannot listen to these words, get inspired, and then do nothing. And that's a trap. Being inspired feels good, and it feels like you're taking action, but you're not. Talking, writing, wishing, wanting, affirming, that is not action. Action is whenever you physically put a stake in the ground and decide and do things to change your life. So if you get motivated by this and do nothing, you're still not doing anything. You're still not taking action. You must actually do something. You can try to do this alone, or you can step into a forge, a place with a plan, a brotherhood, and a standard that refuses to let you stay in your chair. You can surround yourself with other men who are rising. Surround yourself with people who are having babies and saying, how can I hit my protein and be the best man I can be? How can I be the best father, husband I can be? You can cut out all the toxic noises and be a part of a community and brotherhood that pushes you to rise and that wants to see you at your best. They love you so much, they will hold you to a high standard and not buy your bull. That's how much we want to see you succeed. So if you're ready to stop waiting for the thunderstorm to return, and you're ready to become the thunderstorm, then it's time to get to work. Tap the link in the description, learn more about Men of Fire, apply, and if you're a great fit for this program, then I'll see you inside the Brotherhood, and we will lock arms and make sure that this is the year that you rise.